And good evening, everybody. It is Monday, September 24th, 2012. You are listening to Through the Mirror with Larry Sinclair on the Rense Radio Network. And we have with us tonight Mr. Dinesh D'Souza, president of King's College, best-selling author, former Reagan administration advisor, and documentary filmmaker, 2016 Obama's America. Welcome to the program, sir.
Hey, it's good to be on the show.
Thank you. I discovered something this morning, and I want to jump right into it for you real quick. I understand someone did a pirate copy of your film and uploaded it on YouTube yesterday?
Well, yeah, we've been facing some sabotage attempts with the film, and I think they're being driven by the critics and sort of the Obama activists. And so what somebody did was they hacked into the film. They put it up on YouTube. We took it down, but some people were able to circulate it on some peer-to-peer sites. But the bottom line of it is we're taking all appropriate actions to stop this. And it's not the first time it's happened to a film, of course. But the other thing is that some of the people who are critics of the film have also been spreading false rumors about the film, like the whole film is going to be shown on Fox News on Sunday, that kind of stuff. And these rumors are completely false. The film is not going to be shown on television. It is only in the theaters right now, and eventually it will be on DVD.
Okay. Mr. D'Souza, I personally sat down and watched this film in the theater a week ago this past Saturday. And I took a friend of mine who was an avid Obama supporter. Walking out of this film, this Obama supporter could not accuse you of attacking Obama in any way, shape, or form with this film, was amazed at how well you used Obama's own words through his audio version of his book to describe why he had taken such policy positions as he did based on the way he was raised and who influenced him in his life. Now, you've taken a lot of heat from the mainstream media a couple of years ago over an article that you wrote trying to define or explain how Barack Obama comes about making the decisions that he has made. But you're not attacking him in any way in this film. In fact, you go out of your way to say that it's not your decision to tell people what to do or how to vote, and it's not even up to you. It's up to everyone else. Is that a fair assessment?
It is. I wanted to make a film very different than, let's say, Michael Moore's Fahrenheit 9/11, which was a film that was kind of fast and loose with the facts, conspiratorial in its mindset. This is a film that tells the Obama story and tells it kind of his way. As you know, at critical points in the film, we use Obama's own voice. Many people would say that many of the most incriminating scenes in the film are just Obama speaking, sometimes, of course, off mic, but nevertheless in full view of the audience. So the idea here is to show how Obama became the man that he is, and how the ideology, the so-called dream from his father, that Obama himself describes in his autobiography, provides a very good basis for understanding his underlying compass, what he's doing in the White House, and what he would do if he was given another 4 years.
Okay. Now, I'm interested, when did you get this idea? What made you put this thing together, and how did you manage to do it? A friend of mine in Washington, D.C. last night called me late and said that she finally saw the movie. And she says that it is absolutely amazing how well you put this thing together and how smoothly it flows. And the fact that you start from the beginning and work it all the way up to his inauguration. And there's no arguing with what's on the film because it's backed up by Barack Obama's own voice. But what brought you to do this film?
Well, when I wrote my book in 2010, The Roots of Obama's Rage, that was the book that was excerpted in Forbes magazine. I realized that Obama had only been the president for about 18 months, a year and a half. So in a sense, I was advancing a theory that did have some evidence to support it, but couldn't really be proved. So then I thought, look, if I make a film, I will now have the full 4-year record of Obama. I will be able to substantiate everything I say. And besides, I'm going to put on my tennis shoes and go to Hawaii. I'm going to go to Chicago. I'm going to go to Indonesia and Kenya. I'm going to meet people who knew Obama, related to him, knew his mom, knew his dad. I'm going to interview George Obama, the president's brother. So I will have new information to share with people that has not been reported by the mainstream press. And so I'll actually be able to inform whatever the politics. I wanted people to leave this film saying, I just know a lot about Barack Obama that I didn't know 9 minutes ago when I walked in to see the film.
Right. Well, I will tell you this. My friend in D.C. pointed out something. She said probably the most poignant and important part of the film was how you told your story and how you compared your heritage to that of Barack Obama's, and how you put up the palm of your hand up against the palm of his hand, and showed that you can't be called racist, that you can't be called some white ideologue that's just out to slam Obama and make everybody hate him because he's not what you would consider the usual so-called president of the United States. And she said that was touching, that it was amazing how you did that, and it just set people at ease. Have you been called racist before putting this movie out at all in your speakings?
Well, I wrote a book some years ago called The End of Racism. That came out in the mid-'90s, and that generated a pretty lively debate because it looked at, in part, at a controversial question, which is why non-white immigrants to America have done quite well, and indigenous minorities, specifically African Americans, less well. So I know this topic, this whole race relations debate, really well. And I actually initially was sort of understanding Obama in terms of a civil rights guy, which turns out to be a wrong understanding. I mean, the key to Obama is to realize that his father never sat at a segregated lunch counter. Obama is not descended from slaves. He had a very different type of history. So, yes, I think the purpose of putting me alongside Obama in the film is that the film becomes a contrast of two dreams. There's the American dream, which is my dream, the immigrant dream, and then there's Obama's dream, which is the dream from his father. That's the title of his autobiography. And so the way the film takes off is by saying, well, who was his father? What was his father's dream that Obama claims to have gotten from his dad? And that's what leads you on this sort of great intellectual and emotional journey.
One part I liked in the film, you were speaking with a friend of Obama's father, who's very active in politics in Nairobi, I believe. And you asked him point blank if Barack Obama was more like his father. And he turned around and told you that he thought he was definitely more the anti-colonial image of his father in how he has made his policy decisions.
I found it striking that when you go to Indonesia, when you go to Kenya, you find that anti-colonialism is something that people talk about all the time. It's natural. It's part of the everyday conversation. It's only here in America, because we are a little insulated from the rest of the world, that these concepts seem so strange and so alien. When you talk to many Americans, the only anti-colonialism they can think of is, 1776, we got our independence, America did, from the British. We were a colony of the British. But there's an anti-colonialism that developed in the third world in the 20th century that I believe is still the root cause of anti-Americanism around the world. And it's that kind of anti-colonialism that gave rise to Barack Obama Sr., and it's that kind of anti-colonialism, which, by the way, is very anti-capitalist, and it also sees America as being, in a way, the bad guy, the rogue nation in the world. Those are, in a way, the core beliefs of the anti-colonial movement, and I think those are the beliefs that help to shape the actions of Barack Obama.
Okay. I'm going to ask you because in the film, you display a map, a changing map as far as the Muslim world. And with the recent actions in Libya and Cairo, it's almost like you're telling a future that's not too far around the corner. What do you think?
Well, I appreciate that because that's the one part of the film where some people came out and they said, Dinesh, we're raising our eyebrows on this one, the United States of Islam. Aren't you jumping the gun here? But the other day when I was just looking at, I think it was a Google map, just of all the different countries in which there were uprisings against America, it really looked like an identical copy of the map that we use in the film. So yeah, we are living in the midst of historical events. And the film does nothing more than try to look at Obama's actions and project out from what's going on now to what's likely to happen in the next 4 years if Obama were to be reelected.
Let me ask you something. Do you think American voters are going to swallow this crap about some obscure YouTube video that's been out since July 2nd? Created a situation to where Ambassador Stevens was killed? Or do you believe that that's just another attempt to try to ignore the fact that we really are in trouble when it comes to Muslim countries? Because no matter what we do, we are going to still be hated.
Well, the radical Muslims will use videos, they'll use whatever they can to rally their troops. And what are they trying to accomplish? They're trying to essentially restore Islam as a global power. Remember that Islam has not been a global power in 3 centuries. So something very big is underway. This is not just about a film or an assassination. It's ultimately about trying to bring all the major countries of the Middle East, Egypt, Iran, Saudi Arabia, Jordan, under the control of the radical Muslims. And what to me is very striking isn't the Arab Spring, but it's really Obama's response to it. If you look at what Obama's been doing, his actions have the direct effect of undermining our allies and strengthening our enemies. Now, why would someone do that? My argument is that Obama's doing it because he wants to reduce America's footprint in the world. He wants to reduce America's footprint in the world because he feels we have been stepping on the world. So that's the anti-colonial mindset. The bad guy is not Iran, it's not North Korea, it's us, it's America.
Do you think he's going to succeed?
Well, he has been succeeding, and this is a problem that a lot of conservatives have a wrong view of Obama. They think, he's an amateur, he's a bungler, he doesn't know what he's doing. It's not as if Obama is getting results opposite to what he intends. He intends the results he's getting. He wants to shrink the American economy, and he is. He wants to transfer wealth away from America to other countries, and he's doing it. He wants to reduce energy consumption and energy availability in America and boost energy availability in Mexico and Colombia and Brazil. So he's subsidizing that, energy use in foreign countries. He wants to slash America's nuclear arsenal, and he has. He wants to cut the military, and he did. So time and time again, Obama is acting deliberately to downsize America. Again, he's doing it not because he's a traitor or he's a secret Muslim or something. He's doing it because he subscribes to an ideology that would like to see a smaller America.
I don't think I could have said it better, and I absolutely agree with you. I think conservatives do have it wrong. I think people looking at him and saying, this is amateur hour, he's making mistakes. I don't believe these are mistakes. I tend to agree with you. I think that everything the Obama administration has accomplished, or in the conservative view, not accomplished, was intentional and deliberate, and I think people really do underestimate him. And I think that conservatives as a whole may be underestimating this election as well. Do you see the possibility of Barack Obama winning re-election in November?
Well, I think it's a real possibility, that's for sure. Now, Obama is beatable, and I think the way to beat him is to keep the focus on Obama, to make the election in a way Obama versus Obama. Romney's argument should be, hey, look, this is who Obama really is. This is what he's done. He's accumulated $5 trillion of debt. If he gets 4 more years, you can count on another $5 trillion. Now, if you want that, vote for the guy. If you don't, there's a perfectly competent replacement who's waiting in the wings. So I think this election could go either way. What our film is trying to do is essentially ask America to think even bigger than Obama. This isn't just about Obama. It's ultimately over whether or not the principles that brought America here, the principles of the American dream, are going to be reaffirmed, or will we allow one man with a very different dream to undercut those principles? Again, he's doing it in the name of global fairness, of global justice. But I think that even if most Democrats knew what Obama is really up to, redistribution not just in America, but on a global scale, that they would be very hesitant to vote for Obama.
You said if Romney was to keep this about Obama versus Obama, what is it about conservatives and Republicans at this point in this administration that they are still scared to make this about Obama? Why is everyone scared to talk about who Obama is, what he has stood for, what he has espoused in his past? Why are we scared to do that?
I think that because conservatives are scared of the race issue. Because certainly Romney, that's why Romney keeps saying, well, Obama's a nice guy, he's a smart guy, but, you know, he's just got the wrong ideas. First of all, Obama's not a nice guy. He is a pretty smart guy, but he's not smart in the sense of being a genius. He's smart in the sense of having, you know, low cunning. Now, the point is that even conservatives are scared that they will be tarred with the idea that they are racially insensitive and so on, and therefore, when Newt Gingrich endorsed my book a couple of years ago by using the phrase Kenyan anti-colonialism, a lot of conservatives ran and jumped out of the window because to them Kenyan anti-colonialism just means like black, black, black. So that's what scares them.
Right. And that was what I was mentioning earlier. I know that you did an article, I believe it was in Newsweek, and if I'm incorrect on the magazine, I apologize. But you were raked over the coals by the mainstream media, by MSNBC. Even Vice President Joe Biden went on the air and accused you of being anything and everything but an intellectual or even honest. And I love the way you just described that, because it seems to me conservatives need to get over this fear of being labeled something at this point. And I think that's part of Obama's game plan. Obama loves to be able to put out and accuse someone of being a race baiter or whatever, because it just makes people turn around and get nervous and want to jump back. Mr. Dinesh, I know you have to go. I'm going to hang on to you for a couple of more minutes. Your latest book is?
My latest book is called Obama's America. So the subtitle of the film, which the film is 2016 Obama's America, and the book is just called Obama's America. It just hit #1 on the New York Times bestseller list, and it is a book that lays out chapter and verse of what our future would be like under Obama. So the film is a kind of appetizer. It just touches on these topics. The book goes into them in great detail.
Okay. And how's the movie doing right now?
The movie has actually done fantastically well. It will be in the theaters for about 3 more weeks before going into DVD. It's a beautifully shot film, so I would recommend seeing it in the theater because it doesn't look like a TV documentary. It's more like Out of Africa, a film that has a kind of beauty to it. So the film is now the #2 political documentary of all time, behind only Fahrenheit 9/11, and so it smashed all kinds of records. It's grossed $32 million far, and it really has been the far and away the most successful documentary of the year.
Well, I can tell you personally, I saw it. I would recommend anyone else to go see it. I would even encourage people to do what I did, which is if you have friends that are Obama supporters who think they know it all, invite them, take them. I think people will be surprised at what people come out of the theater with a whole new perspective on who and what Barack Obama is. Mr. D'Souza, I appreciate the fact that you gave us this time. We've linked to your website on sinclairnews.net as well, and we've got your CPAC speech up. we will do everything we can to get people encouraged to go see the movie.
Thank you very much. It's really been a pleasure being on the show, and I appreciate your kind words about the film.
Thank you so much. You have a wonderful evening, sir.
Bye-bye.
All right, everybody. That was Dinesh D'Souza. He is also the president of King's College in New York. And we skipped the first commercial break because he could only stay on for about 20 minutes with us, and I wanted to use that time to talk with him. If you have not seen 2016, I agree wholeheartedly. It is something you need to see. Go into this movie and do not go into it with the attitude that this is another attempt to slam or denigrate Barack Obama, because it's not. This movie is so well put together. It does take you from beginning to current times. It does use Barack Obama's own words in so much of it. Mr. D'Souza is in no way attacking Barack Obama. I think he has succeeded where no one else has, as far as explaining exactly how Barack Obama has come to the different policy positions that he's taken. You're listening to Through the Mirror with Larry Sinclair on the Rinse Radio Network. We'll be back after this brief message.